Okay, Shalom, Shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great most on well, and salutations to the elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in the name in truth and sincerity. This is Ira from Great Millstone, Wisconsin, and coming at you with another lesson. This lesson is going to be based off an excerpt from this book I have on the screen here called America's Deadliest Export, Democracy by William Blum. And really, it's a good book. This quote I'm going into is going into the heads of the United States Space Command, dealing with the chariots. Dealing with the existential threat they call the unidentified aerial phenomenon. Which we know to be the chariots of the Most High. And just thinking, because over the weekend for camp, we went over the chariots, and this book had a very good point in it, so I wanted to just delve a little bit deeper into it. So going into this book here. Oh, also what I have on the screen here is archive.org, which is a great resource if you don't have certain books. You can actually come here and you can create an account, and then you can view books in the PDF form. So very old, if you can get very old books, or books that you don't have access to or anything like that, or if you want to put books up on the screen to do for visual, for lessons, this is a great resource. So this is from America's Deadliest Export, Democracy, and I'm going to skip a couple of pages. Now this quote is still in the introduction. So here we go. Let's see. So this is from a excerpt or a subchapter called Full Spectrum Dominance here. If I can pull this up a little bit more. Okay. So Bob Kashai, please let me know in the comment boards if this is too small. I don't think it is, but the way I'm viewing it on my screen might be different from what it looks like on the video. So Salakia, if it's too small to read. But this is from page 4 in the introduction. It's called Full Spectrum Dominance. It says, a number of expressions and slogans associated with the Nazi regime in Germany have been commonly known in English. Sieg Heil, meaning hail victory. Arbeit macht free, work makes you free. Den Hut, Gehort uns Deutschland, and Morgen die Gans Welt, today Germany, tomorrow the world. And I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that one, but since I was only following orders. It says, but none perhaps is better known than the Deutschland Uber allies, Germany above all. So thus I was taken aback in June 2008 when I happened to come across the website of the United States Air Force, airforce.com. It says, and saw on its first page a heading, above all. Lest you think that this referred simply and innocently to planes high up in the air, this page linked to another site, airforce.com, A Changing World, where above all was repeated even more prominently with links to sites for air dominance. So let's just deal with this here, above all. Oh, I'm able to highlight. That's pretty cool. So this above all here. Now, this is what you call textbook solipsism, which is a name for a philosophy that was prominent in Rome. Now, basically, the belief of solipsism is that nobody outside of an entity or a person exists, which is basically narcissism, to be honest, and selfishness. So that's why when you go back and you watch Roman period pieces, you always hear all roads lead to Rome, or for the glory of Rome, and that's what they believe, that all things led to Rome, and that's what America believes, that all things lead or come from America, So when it says above all, they're really speaking about their own enterprise above all, It says, and was repeated even more prominently with links to sites for air dominance, space dominance, and cyber dominance, each of which in turn repeated above all. These guys don't get around. They're not your father's imperialistic warmongers. If they're planning for a new 1,000-year Reich, let's hope that their fate is no better than the original, which lasted 12 years. Here's how the gentlemen of the Pentagon have sounded in the recent past on the subject of space. Now, this is the point here. It says, we will engage terrestrial targets someday. It says ships, airplanes, land targets from space. Meaning they want to build space weapons. It says we're going to fight in space, we're going to fight from space, and we're going to fight into space. Now, what would they be fighting in space or into space with? If it's not the chariots of the Lord. And you can have, let's say, let's just for humor's sake, right? Other countries build space shuttles and spaceships and space weapons and things of that nature, But the real nature of this is to fight the angels of the Lord, man, and the chariots. It says General Joseph Ashey, Commander-in-Chief of the United States Space Command. So this here, the United States Space Command, this was created way before Trump got into office and created the so-called, sixth branch of the military, which he calls the United States Space Force. But there was a space command already in play. There's an organization dealing with, with space and in the heavens already. When you go here and you look at United States Space Command, and I'm just gonna go over to the right just to see when it was founded, right? So it says active September 23rd, 1985 to October 2002, So it's been in its first incarnation. So that was 16 years, right? Second incarnation, August 2019 to present, Now, August 2019 was, August 2019 was when Trump was in office, man. So what he did was he just revived what was already there. That's all he did was revive what was already here. So there always was a space command or a space force. All he did was change the name. Now going into United States Space Command, it says the United States Space Command, or U.S. Spacecom, or Spacecom, is a unified combatant command of the United States Department of Defense, responsible for military operations in outer space, specifically all operations 62 miles and greater above mean or sea level. It says U.S. Space Command is responsible for the operational employment of space forces that are provided by the uniformed services of the Department of Defense. So this is responsible for your operations dealing with everything that has to do with space. Everything has to do with the heavens. So going back to the book, just on the same page, it says with regard to space dominance, we have it, we like it, and we're going to keep it. So they already believe that they have dominance over the heavens, man. And that's going back to Job, chapter 9, verse 24, and also going back to Genesis, the 27th chapter, about his blessing, where he was given the dew of heaven. This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and that's the point. The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked by the Most High. The Lord has loaned the earth to this man for his own purpose, man. And the scripture also say, Proverbs 16:4, that the wicked was created for the day of evil, So this is what he was created to do. He was created to have dominion over this place, It says, he covereth the face of the judges thereof, which the judges would be, Yahushua, the angels, the prophets. If not, where and who is he, So meaning if it's not him, then who did it, because he's the only one that had the power, So speaking of power, going back here, it says with regard to space dominance, we have it, we like it, and we're going to keep it. So they understand that they have the dominion over the earth, but the thing is that he thinks he wants to go even further, and He wants dominion over things that he has no control over, you know, which is the heavens, you know. Going back up, it says I'm going to skip here. It says during the early portion of the 21st century, space power will also evolve into a separate and equal medium of warfare, you know. So they really just want this dominion for war, you know, for war with the Most High. It says the emerging synergy. Slakia, phone ring a little bit. It says during the early position of the 21st century, space power will also evolve into a separate and equal medium of warfare. The emerging synergy of space superiority with land, sea, and air superiority will lead to full spectrum dominance. You know, so that's what they want. Full spectrum dominance, meaning they want to dominate everything and anything, you know, that's in existence. Development of ballistic missile defenses using space systems and planning for precision strikes from space offers a counter to the worldwide proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. So they want to create, Death Star weapons. You know, if you ever seen Star Wars, and they had that big space military base that Darth Vader was in, and it was as big as a planet, but it was a weapon, and they could pinpoint it to any planet and blow it up. You know, and that's what they essentially want to do. They want to point these weapons on Earth and be able to strike from anywhere, you know. It says space is a region with increasing commercial, you know, so they want to make money off of it. Civil, meaning they want to live in space. International and military interests and investments, meaning which they want to have military operations, you know. They want to control the airspace just like they do on Earth. It says, or they want to control this, you know, the vacuum space, I'll say. It says the threat of these vital systems is also increasing. Control of space is the ability to assure access to space, freedom of operations within the space medium, you know, and an ability to deny others use of space. See, they always want to capitalize, man, you know. And if they're denying others the use of outer space, which was given, you know, to the world, then what they're going to do is commercialize it, you know. They're going to restrict access. They want to restrict access. They want to, you know, block people from doing this and the third. And also they want to make a profit, you know. It says if required, United States Space Command vision for 2020, you know. So this was a vision for 2020, and this was written or said in the late 90s and early 2000s, right? When you go back here, you know, it was so-called stopped operation in 2002, but then it regained operation in 2019. You know, so really Trump just re-emerging the Space Command or the Space Force is nothing short of a plan, man. You know, nothing short of an agenda. You know, because remember, you come back here, it tells you that the vision for 2020, this was revived in 2019, you know. Now it's 2024 now, you know, and they've been doing their tinkering and concocting their plans to be able to fight the chariots. But the thing is that, you know, the chariots are the curse that goeth over the earth, you know. Let me just go here to Obadiah really quick. It's Obadiah 1 and 3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Now that's very prideful for the creation to think that he can fight the created. The creation can fight the creator, you know. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. This is how you know that this is talking about Esau, you know. So that pride has deceived him, you know, tricked him, made him pompous and losing my word, pompous and arrogant, Salakia. It says, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground, you know? And the one that shall bring you down to the ground is the Most High, you know? Starting with Yahweh Shai and the angels, man. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, which that's exactly what they're doing, you know, with this United States Space Command, you know? That's why they have satellites, they have drones, they have infrared imaging, and things of all this nature where they can pinpoint people from space. They have Google Earth, you know. It says, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. You know, so the Lord is going to destroy you, man. You know, just because you built all of these space stations and, you know, these cameras that can see so-called light years away, you know, because you're trying to catch chariots, you know, you're trying to see, you're trying to do reconnaissance on the vehicles of the Lord, man. You know, it says, thence will I bring thee down, you know, so you're going to be destroyed, man. You're going to be destroyed by the very thing that you're trying to fight, you know, which is the curse. This is Zechariah 5:1. It says, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. You know, which is just the size that was described of the chariot, you know. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, you know. So when you look at movies like Independence Day or Skyline, you know, or War of the Worlds, you know, you see these chariots and they're huge, you know. It says, for every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on the side according to it. And the biggest thief on the planet is the Edomite, you know, the so-called white man. Everyone knows this. It's documented in history, you know. He's stealing and pillaging things as we speak. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it, you know. And he swears to the Lord, man, you know, and breaks his promises and breaks the commandments, you know. It says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. See, the second time, you know, that thief is Esau Edom, man, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, which is Esau Edom again. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof, you know. So this place is going to be consumed by the chariots, man. Your unidentified aerial phenomenon, which we know it as identified aerial phenomenon, you know, or identified, you know, flying objects, which are the chariots of the Most High, man, the vehicles that are going to destroy and deliver us, man. And will destroy you and deliver us, you know. Now, this is the last scripture here, you know, and this is, you know, basically it's self-explanatory. It's Proverbs 16:18. It says, pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall, you know. And Esau is showing his pride, showing all of his pomp and his pride, man, by trying to go against the Most High in every aspect possible, you know. Trying to fight in outer space when humans don't have a claim to outer space, you know. There's a reason why we can't breathe in outer space, you know. There's a reason why we, you know, Esau hasn't even explored most of outer space, just like he hasn't even explored most of the sea, you know. So Esau hasn't explored most of the sea, but he's trying to go into outer space to fight the Lord, man, you know. And there is a astrophysicist. His name is Michio Kaku, if I'm saying his name correct. And he was on a Joe Rogan podcast around 2 years ago, and he was explaining about the chariots, you know, about how there's nothing on the planet that can compete with them, you know, that the way they move defies all logic, you know, and that we couldn't catch up to the technology that's probably in these machines for 300,000 years, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna read it again. It says, pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall, you know. So and that's what Esau's got coming, man, is the fall of his empire, you know. So with that, you know, I hope you brothers and sisters, you Akim and Akwath were edified, you know. I want to say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKodash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and so I've tasted to the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in the name and truth and in sincerity. Shalom.